Good morning, everyone. Happy to slay. What's happening? What's going what's going everybody? Listen, I'm so excited about this topic and this weather. Okay, I can't even speak. My name is Rochelle Slay, or Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. Welcome into Slay Nation. So if you are here visiting with us, if you're here live, please let me know. Put it into the comments. I want to give you a shout out because you could be anywhere else and you decided to stop in here and just to listen just for a minute. Now, I am the CEO and founder of Slay to Success, which now I am pivoting into preparing high visibility leaders to go into high stakes environments, specifically women. This is who has been coming to me. I've been partnering with organizations and so forth and so on. So, slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym, which I recently changed. It's still all the same, but I put it into more of a framework where it's easily recognizable. And that is strategic identity, leadership presence, aesthetics, authority, and your narrative power. And this morning, y'all, we are going to talk specifically about strategic identity, okay? Because I think this is the starting point. It is the foundation for what I have been sharing with my clients when I'm in presentations, keynote, all the things, all right? And so I've been kind of skirting around it. Now we're going to go straight to the point and get right to it. Good morning. How you doing, madam? How you doing, Leslie? Good morning to you as well. Happy Tuesday. I see you're moving your body. That's what we do here. I love it, Queen. Just keep it going, okay? So today we're going to talk about this identity, and I'm going to share a little bit about my experience and experiences of others that I have been working with here recently, because identity kind of gets, I don't even know, it's like you're talking through it and it's as if people get it, right? And they're not getting it because they're not very clear on what they should be doing. Now, for me, I served 30 years in the United States Air Force, and the advice that I got was go find yourself. Okay. Take some time out, go find yourself because you don't know who you are. All right. So I was like, okay. So for me, if someone gives me advice and I respect them, I'm going to take it. Right. So I spent a lot of time walking around in the neighborhood, y'all. I mean, it was trying to figure out like who was I after I took off the uniform. So I did that for about 3 to 4 months. And nothing was coming to, the foresight. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. I was still lost. So I was like, let me just take a step back here. Okay. So I need to find myself is not getting me anywhere. What do I need to be doing right now? So I started to reframe the questioning that was presented to me at first of who are you now to who do you want to become next or need to become next, depending on whatever opportunity presents itself. All right. So for me, I took the who do I want to become next? That was the question. It wasn't who am I now? Because you can sit and get stuck in that and really not find a way to get to your next. So, the other question of who do I need to become next is also a great question to ask because some people are entering into a new career, right? Maybe you're entering into a new role. Many of us who retire after a long period of time, we go into public service. All right. I've been fortunate to work with several women who were veterans who are now in the public facing sector. Those that went into corporate and now they are CEOs, those that have started a business or a nonprofit. So sometimes we just need to take a step back, reframe the question instead of taking advice, and which was simple for many of us to say, take some time and go find yourself. But it became very complicated. So I tried again to really think about what I enjoyed and, did a lot of reflection, walking, praying, meditating on my treadmill, on the spin bike, thinking about like, who am I? I don't know, and that process did not feel complete. It really felt passive for me, because I felt like there was no traction, there was no momentum for me to get to, what I needed to be doing or what I wanted to do. So my entire career was built on strategy. It was built on planning and it was built on intentional decisions. All right. For 30 plus years, that's what the mode I was in. And when I reframed, who do I want to become next, or who do I need to become next? I started to go back to the time where I was like, okay, in certain positions, and I was going into that position, and it was a highly coveted role. And I said, who do I want to become next, or who do I need to become next? Those are the questions that I was asking myself, but I didn't have that terminology until after I retired. So it wasn't as if I hadn't been there before. I had been there before. So I just needed to go back, look at the patterns of my career, think about how I operated in those certain roles, and started to do that when I found myself in another shift. Okay, so this has been the shift for me. And instead of just saying, okay, who do I want to be around? What do I enjoy? What do I don't like, and all this other stuff that goes into it. That one question changed everything. It completely changed the way that I have eased into transition, because it moved me from searching around to designing. And so that's what I want to talk to you all about, is designing. So I approach this next chapter the same way leaders approach mission planning. That's how I approached it, and it has been strategic. So I started the business Slay to Success in 2021-ish, 22-ish. I didn't really get into understanding business until 2023. From 2023 up to now, I have had a plethora of opportunities, either speaking, facilitating, presenting workshops, going to networking events, meeting new people, developing a network. And it was all because things were in alignment, they were coming together. And I knew, starting with the question, who do I want to become next? I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be, somewhat of a styling, type leader, because I love fashion, but fashion is just not putting on clothes for me. It's very much a messaging. It's a tool, right? So I wanted to incorporate all these different things into what I'm doing next. So strategically, I defined four things. So I'm going to give you the four things that I defined. So if you're taking notes, it's probably a good time for you to get out your pen and paper and to write these things down. So because you can start now on your journey of Who do I want to become next, or who do I need to become next? All right. So good morning, Chevy. How you doing, Queen? Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for dropping in on the LinkedIn side. I see you, Queen. All right. So I define four things. Number one, what do I want to stand for? Two, the impact I wanted to create. Three, the leadership lane I wanted to occupy. And four, how I wanted to show up in the world. Those were the four things that I had to define. And when I started to define those four things, everything started to come in alignment. So my work, my messaging, my opportunities, not because I was chasing this visibility, which is something that we all need to understand. Visibility IQ is a thing. I was never trained to be in high visibility roles. I was thrown into it. And I know a lot of people, especially women, are just thrown into high visibility leadership without any type of formal training. We get formal training as a professional leader, right? The competency, the technical aspect, the performance. We know how to handle tasks and manage, different things. But no one shared with me at any point on visibility intelligence. So if you don't understand that aspect, a lot of things start to derail. All right. Your reputation, your credibility, your influence, your impact, it starts to deteriorate. So now when I'm speaking to this, you'll have a better understanding. This is not about chasing visibility because you're already in the space. If you are a woman who has CEO attached to your title, maybe you're CEO of a company, or you're CEO of your business, or CEO of a nonprofit, if you are in a public facing role, if you are a thought leader like myself who has intellectual property that you share with the world, you're already in a high visibility position. And the stakes are high because at any point, somebody can come to you and challenge you. Somebody could be scrutinizing you, judging you. I had many times when I would be walking across, when I was on a military installation in a high visibility role. I served in 4 prominent high visibility roles. And people say they saw me, and I didn't see them because they were looking, they were watching, they were taking notes, they were making sure that I was doing all the things that I said I was going to be doing. All right. So think about it. All right. We want to have clarity. So this experiences over, the past 30 plus years for me became now the foundation for what I teach, and that is strategic identity development. We've got to stop before we enter in high visibility environments or organizations and ask ourselves those 4 areas, right, of defining what I want, what do you want to stand for? What is the impact that you want to create? The leadership lane that you want to occupy, and how do you want to show up in the world? So this is the first pillar of the SLAY method. All right. So I know many of you have heard me talk about SLAY in a different way, but now because I have really found clarity and I am elevating and evolving the brand, these are the things that I know women come to me about. I get text messages, I get calls, I get, emails from women who are saying to me, here are the words. I want to know, how do I find my brand identity? I want to know, how do I show up, especially aesthetically? I want to know, how do I carry myself in a pressure cooker? I know that people are going to be challenging me. And you have to be able to hold yourself in this space. Just take a look around. I don't need to give you specifics. Just go and watch the TV right now. All right? People are being challenged, and the visibility IQ, for some, was not a factor. They just saw the role and said, let me just jump on in there. All right? No, we got to be prepared. So identity is not always something that we simply find. Right? Some people will say that's what it is. I'm not a coach. I don't give you a bunch of questions. I don't, skirt around, right? We have short runways. Many of us have done long careers, 20, 30, sometimes 40. Yesterday, I went to an event and it was hosted by the Women's Business Collaborative. And there was a panel, and there was women on the panel who have been in the industry of sports and military, talking to the same things that I speak to in different ways. They were talking about personal branding. They were talking about impact. They were talking about, influence. They were talking about presence. They were talking about all the things that I speak to in their own way. So what we're trying to do is create the ecosystem. All right. I have women that are part of the network who have done absolutely incredible things over their life, right? They're very ambitious. They're driven. They want more. They believe that what they have done can create more impact. So we got to get this thing right, right? We got to get it right. We can get it right. All right. We're going to use our gifts. And I talked about my gifts on Sunday night, the gift of discernment, the gift of wisdom, the gift of empowerment, right? We're going to use these gifts so that way it can be an expression of our calling for whatever we're trying to do in this next. Yes, Chevy, people are always watching. And you may think nobody's watching you, right? But it's more than just watching you in action. It's watching who you are connected to. So sometimes it's by association. So Nicholas Feemster was at this event yesterday. Hey, Nicholas, if you're listening in, I'm going to give you a shout out. He is one of the members of Easter SEALs for the DMV for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And he does outreach. He is also an Army veteran. He works for the organization. I met him at an event where I was speaking, and then he asked me to speak on his platform. So it was for women veterans in transition. So I spoke to his group, and then he reached out to other women that were in my community. I gave them the names because he said, hey, do you know of anyone else who would be, beneficial from the organization? So I connected with him. And then yesterday when I saw him, he said, you know what, Queen? The organization as a whole has gotten more looks based on the networks that you connected me to. So it is not just about in action, it's online too. Who you connected to? All right. I want to be connected to other powerful women, to other powerful men, to people who are at a certain frequency. I operate at a very high vibrational frequency. I talk what I talk. I mean what I talk. I don't like look at anyone else and copycat anyone else. I have a distinct look. I have a distinct thought pattern. So these are the individuals that you will see me connected to. All right. So we have to understand when people are watching, they're just not watching you when you're walking outside. They're watching you on the digitals. All right. So I just need us to understand we are all in transition at some point of our lives, whether or not it's from a career from a retirement, from one business to the next, going into corporate, going into a nonprofit, going into a business. We are all some way, form, fashion in transition from something. All right. And sometimes we have to stop. There is a grieving process when you lose the version of your old self. I had to lose the version of my old self to get to where I'm at because I didn't want to just be. Okay. I just not want to be. I wanted to do more and actually make a difference. I made a difference while I was in service. This is just not what just ended with. I just now continue on. And that is the point of having strategic identity development. All right. So, good morning. How you doing, Chris? Yes, I'm having a very blessed day so far. I have got a workout in. It was hard, but that's what I enjoy. And I'm going to be outside for most of the day today because it's such a nice day. So hopefully you're having good weather down there in North Carolina, if that's where you're at right now. So thank you for dropping in. All right. And I see Bonnie. Bonnie, how you doing, Queen? I see you over on the Facebook side. Thank you so much for being here live and watching in, Queen. So we have to design our identity with intention. We have to design our identity with intention. All right. This is what I have been partnering and equipping the tools for the women specifically, because I've had mostly women come to me and ask me, how do I step into the next, or how do I, stand up in the position that I'm getting ready to go into? And we have to break this down. So I give them the how. Okay. The how is through lived experiences, not only in my military career, but also as an entrepreneur. All right. Because I feel like those two entities, when you kind of combine them and they align, you come up with different ways or different options for someone to pursue that. I don't want anyone to think that they're alone in their journey of really figuring out, like, I need to be grounded, right? We know in this world today that anything could happen, in anything. Somebody can come to you and tell you, hey, you're out. All right. I have several clients that they said, you're out. We don't have a position for you here. So what are you going to do? Well, that's a perfect opportunity to look at how you want to intentionally be in your next. Okay. So that is the first pillar. All right. Next week, we're going to talk about leadership presence. Hey, Cindy, how you doing, Queen? Happy Tuesday to you. I see you watching in on Facebook too. So glad that you're here, and I hope that you're doing well, Queen. So that is the first step. Then the next step is going to be leadership presence. I'm going to talk through that next week. If you're following me on LinkedIn, I share blogs, I share, the show, a thought leadership post that you can find more insight on. If at any point you're like, you know what, I just need to break this down, and I'm ready to really get to the point where I can go out on my own and hold, into the space that you're occupying. If you need support with that, you can come, see about me, and I can help you through that. So again, my name is Rochelle Slay, or Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I want to thank Chevy, Leslie, and Chris for dropping in, as well as Bonnie and Cindy listening in. And please, y'all, please have a Slay amazing day. If it is nice outside, please go outside and get some vitamin D. Okay. Because I don't know, this weather is kind of up and down all over the place. But this is a good opportunity for you just to go outside and just get some fresh air, because that's what I'm going to be doing here. All right. So keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. And I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.